Those of you who are returning members, it is not going to be our usual hack walkthrough meetings like we normally do. We're going to do a lot of housekeeping stuff today. For those of you that are new, thank you for coming. I hope you are able to continue to join us throughout the semester and you enjoy this. Normally we do a lot of cool hacking stuff, and we will in later meetings, so hopefully this doesn't bore you too much. We do have some pretty neat announcements and special surprises though that'll hopefully get everybody pretty excited. So, normally you don't start with the bad news, but I'm going to start with the bad news. So, bad news, our treasurer from last semester who continued on, Lisa Roy, she has chosen to resign this semester. So, she had some issues outside of school that she had to deal with, and she just didn't want to not be able to fulfill her responsibilities here. But she's still a member of BBS, and we should hopefully see her around a lot more. She just won't be able to fill in as treasurer. So, what happens whenever we lose a regular office position that's not the president? For those of you who were with us last semester, we had a whole debacle where our original president left us and had these weird constitutional rules where we had to do a whole re-election thing. But we don't have to do that whenever a secretary or a treasurer or vice president leaves. Instead, Tyler, our junior officer, now assumes that position. So Tyler is our new treasurer. Everybody wish Tyler the best of luck. We're going to be helping him out a little bit as he fills those shoes, but this is your current officer lineup for this semester. Of course, there will be elections at the end of the semester, which brings me to a new point. Of course, we are going to need a new junior officer and a new treasurer and all that kind of stuff, but this is my last semester, and I will no longer be running for president at the end of the semester. So BBS will need a new president. So I'm thinking about that.
I'm leaving too.
So we need a full house almost. We need almost all positions filled. So please consider running for BBS office positions if you are enjoying this club and if this is something you're passionate, you care about, you want to in a position to keep this club moving. So keep that in mind as we move through the semester. It's very, very important. All right. So that was the first set of bad news, and here's some more bad news. Oh wait, that's what I just said. I'm leaving. That was all that was. I got ahead of myself. All right, so here's our announcement. So we're going to start with our first one. SECCDC is the Southeastern Cyber Collegiate Defense Competition. It's coming up soon. Okay. So Bex is our captain.
I'm managing. I can't compete.
Oh, you're not?
No. I found out yesterday.
You're not?
I'll be the captain then.
Okay.
Yeah, you're captain. I'm managing.
So do you know who our teams are at least?
Who our team is?
Yeah.
The ones that I have right now are Tyler, Matthew, Gabriel, another Matthew, and Justin.
Is it too late to join for a team?
No, anybody is welcome to join. Yeah. Regina.
If you don't have any knowledge of the stuff.
Join.
That's fine. You just have to be a full-time student. That is the only requirement.
We're going to have like some training days.
Are you a full-time student? Okay, yes, that's fine.
Are you trying to get a team of 12?
We can take up to 12. 8 is goal, and then we can have 4 alternates on top of that.
If you really wanted
So, I guess.
What's your name?
James Erickson.
Okay.
Erickson's spelled C-R-I-C-S-S.
How do you spell E?
R-I-C-S-S.
Okay.
What is the date?
February 24th, which is a Saturday. It's going to be about 4 hours here on campus, and then if we make it to regionals, that will be at Kennesaw State, and that will be. Sorry, some people had asked about dates.
You're good.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's the 24th of February, and then if we are in the top 8 teams in the region, then we will move on to Kennesaw State, and that I believe is the first week in March or April?
April 2nd.
April 2nd, okay.
But you have to pay by February 9th. Did you all already pay?
Yeah, we've already paid, so everything's in. We just need to have the full team list by February 10th. We have to have that as a drop dead date.
I'm interested in after that.
Okay.
But, yeah, I understand.
So after the meeting, if you're interested, come talk to me, that I can get everybody's names down. And we'll set you up with challenges and activities so you can, if you don't have skills, we'll help you get new skills.
Yep, there you go. Perfect. That was exactly what we needed. So, if you aren't wanting to participate, show those teams some support. I know I'm going to be drafting up some documents. I know for those of you who are new, I'm going to be giving you guys a lot of hardening guides in addition to whatever training that you guys decide to do. So it's going to be a nice fancy checklist you go through. You make sure you do those things and learn what the hell you're doing, and you should be okay. So that's a very big competition. Hopefully you guys have fun with that. The next announcement is we have the Blanchard Elementary School outreach. It's their tech day. We need volunteers for that, so if you are interested in volunteering for that.
What's involved with that?
So I actually don't know specifically. I do know that they are technical activities. When the event was first starting, you could propose things that you wanted to do, but Hillary just let me know, not this Hillary, but Hillary from let me know that they have the activities prepared already. They just need volunteers to help out with them. So get with her to find out more information about those activities and figure out if you're interested in those. But this is the dates and times for it. It's March 15th from 8:30 to 2. You're not going to be there the entire time. I think she said some of the activities are only like 20 minutes.
Okay.
So you don't have to be there the full day just for whatever activity. So you can see Bex or
See me again.
message Hillary for more information. So, but we do need volunteers for that. Next announcement is the Box CTF has been updated. For those of you who are new, the Box CTF is a Jeopardy style capture the flag competition. If you don't know what that is, it's basically just a Jeopardy style scoreboard with categories with a bunch of challenges that are related to security. Anything from cracking cryptography to reverse engineering binaries to hacking a website page. You solve these challenges and you get a little flag that's a key, and you submit it to our scoreboard and you get points. We've added some new challenges. Recently, I participated in the Georgia Tech Hungry Hackers competition, and any challenge I solved, I stole within them and put it on our scoreboard. And so we got quite a few new challenges. I was on the top 10 for a good couple hours there, so that was cool. But those challenges are awesome, and I highly recommend going to check them out. There's a new Pwn challenge. We've added a new category. So this Pwn challenge is similar to reverse engineering. For those of you who are daunted by that topic, it's similar to that, but it's a little bit different because the idea of a Propane challenge is you're given the C source code or whatever source code the application is in. In this case, it's just a regular C program and a binary. Now you can solve this challenge by reverse engineering it and find the flag in the binary because I did it a little bit differently than they did. But the idea is you find the vulnerability in software, you exploit the vulnerability, and you get a flag. So it's a full exploitation challenge. So give that one a shot. And then at the end of we have one more announcement. It's my super secret surprise. And so we'll leave that for the end. So now we'll move on to our housekeeping stuff. Before we take your money, I think we've already taken a lot of your money already. I was trying to wait until you guys saw what our agenda was for the semester to decide whether or not you want to actually give us your money. We got your money now. So first off, some club updates. Our meeting times are set for the semester. There's one tentative date that we're working out. I think we'll probably have it worked out pretty soon. We'll let you guys know about that, as usual. And in addition to the announcement about the new challenges on the Box CTF, we have some new challengers. So the Box CTF is completely open on the internet. Anybody in the world can play it that can access that webpage. Other schools, other countries, anybody. And they have. Some people have found it and said, hey, this is a cool CTF. And they've gotten on there and they are destroying us. So get on there and play and win.
Where is the Box CTF?
The Box CTF is on blackboxsociety.org. That is our website. We have a wiki for informational purposes. We have our Box CTF along with our comms for our Discord and IRC channels. If you want more information about Discord, go see Tyler, and we'll hook you up with that. But, so if you are interested in getting to that, I highly recommend it because I don't like getting beat by random strangers. So it's going to take back our territory. But that's what it's for, and I'm really happy people are just popping on and playing because that's exactly what it's for. That means people are using it and enjoying what we have presented for them. So that's cool. Also on the agenda, we have some guest speakers. I know last semester we had Peter Starfinger come in. He's a malware research engineer at Keysense, and he did an awesome presentation. It was over my head by a long shot, and it was awesome. But we may bring him back, and we have a long list. We probably won't do them all this semester, but we have a nice backlog of guest speakers to kind of help facilitate those connections and also grow your knowledge. And maybe if you're not interested necessarily in offensive security, but you like maybe being a sysadmin, maybe you're interested in the malware research things, we want to give you guys exposure to that kind of stuff. So we've got a long list of guest speakers. We'll try to get some in this semester as well. We have some couple goals for the semester. The first goal, you guys have gotten a very lengthy email about the other day if you're part of the Black Box Society on CSU Involved. We have a poll that is our availability poll, and it's just a couple check boxes, dates and times when you would be available and willing to show up for a weekly meeting. So this isn't like a week meeting every week. This is in addition to our bi-weekly meetings, which makes it consecutive. So this meeting, the idea here is it's just a fun meeting. We come and we hang out, we do CTFs, we play King of the Hill competitions, we learn about whatever we want to learn about, which get to know each other a little bit and learn about security and do stuff together. Because it's not something we normally do during these meetings, because we have to do a lot of housekeeping, and there's like a lot of presentations and stuff, which is cool, and I love doing that. That's why I do it this way. But I also want to have time just to hang out and be a club. And so that's what these meetings are for. And we really want to see if there's interest in doing that, and if there is, we'll see about scheduling those. So please vote in that poll. That's very important. So if that's something you're interested in, go vote in that poll. It's in the email. If you did not receive that email, come talk to me afterwards if you're interested in voting in that. You don't have to be a dues paying member to vote in that. It's completely open. Just go vote and let us know when you're available. All right, so the next goal that may or may not happen is either A, become a registered nonprofit, or find a way to make online payments. So we have the Box CTF and our blackboxsociety.org and all that, and it's running on a nice fancy web server. We have to have a way to pay for that. Our generous founder and original president, Chris, is still paying for that. Chris is a very, very good friend of mine, and after I leave, I cannot guarantee that he will continue to pay for that. So what I'm trying to set up is a way for us to still be able to pay for that, because we can get funds from SGA. Money's not the issue. We can get the money. The issue is a medium to pay for the services with. And there's not an official way that we've seen, at least through the bursar's office. We've tried to contact them. They pretty much told us, nope, we don't do that. But I know other organizations like the sororities and fraternities have ways to do that. So we need to figure out the most optimal way to go about doing that. We're open to suggestions. And anyone, we have no idea. We don't know what to do. So that is a goal. We may not reach it, but that's optimal. It's just to have a medium of payment. Is really all we need is a way to pay with card. Because DigitalOcean does not take prepaid Visa cards. So that doesn't work. And then the last one, we had the idea to maybe do a merch fundraiser. This kind of ties in with the online payments, but not really. So we had an idea about a semester or two ago to open up an online merch store, because it's free to do that. And it doesn't cost us anything. It's a good way to do fundraising. Well, since we can't do that right now, we can still order t-shirts and maybe do a t-shirt fundraiser. And that's really cool because we all get some cool merch, and maybe we can get our name out there and raise a couple more funds than what we normally do. So we're thinking about doing that. We're going to figure out the logistics, and once we do, we'll tell you guys about it and let you know if we're going to execute or not. But that seems like a viable idea that we're probably going to go with. So those are our semester goals and our updates. If you've got any questions, feel free to come talk to me afterwards. I'll clear everything up. Now we'll take your money. If we haven't already taken your money and you would like to pay dues now, I'll give everybody a couple minutes. Dues are $5, card, cash or card. Okay, dues simply allow you to be a voting registered member. You can be a member of BBS without paying dues. You can come to these meetings, you can participate, you can play on the box. We let you do it all, completely free. But if you want to make decisions as part of the organization, that's what the $5 due payment allows for you to do. So whenever we have votings in elections, or amendments to constitutions, or any big events that require all of us as an organization to vote, you're not allowed to vote unless you pay your dues first.
Are dues
you can't
due
remain
every
as a
semester or just a one-time thing?
So dues are due one time a semester, $5 every semester, and you can pay at any time of the semester. So at the beginning of the semester, we usually have this call for dues, but as you go, if you haven't paid, just come up and pay during any part of the meeting. We probably won't make a call for it unless we're trying to make sure we're doing a vote or something. Then we'll make another call. But otherwise, if you're just like, oh, forgot to pay my dues today, I'll pay it the next week. That's fine. Perfectly fine. You have a question? Did you have a question?
I was just commenting that being in Puerto Rico is an option.
Oh.
Not voting, but also not paying.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so I guess since everybody's got their dues together, it's time for the super secret announcement.
But it's a horse.
I think I narrowed it down.
It's definitely a horse.
It's a horse.
For everybody to get it done.
That would be cool, but I am not voting. All right. So this is a super secret announcement. Propane net coming soon.
I knew it.
So what is propane? A lot of you people don't know what propane is. So let's put this.
Propane accessories.
So propane is not the propane you're thinking of, and we do have propane accessories. Despite that, so propane is a platform I built last summer for running an attack and defense style competition called the King of the Hill. So this works much like a King of the Hill game does in a video game. You go and you fight over an area, and whoever stays on the area longest gets the most points and wins. Only we're hacking boxes. So there's a bunch of boxes on the network for you to hack. You hack into them, you place your tag on there, and the longer you control that box, the more points you get. The more points you have at the end of the game, you win. And so that's what the game is, and Propane is a scoreboard to facilitate that scoring mechanism. Well, I've been updating it, and I've also received a lot of cool stuff that I'm going to talk about in just a second. But version 1.1, which I just finished not even like an hour ago, has an accurate way to display server and statuses. So if you're not sure if a box is down or not, it'll tell you. I didn't do that before. It's kind of, everybody's like, hey, is the box down? Is the box down? I don't know. Go check. But now we know. We also do database backups. So if you are running a game and you're worried about maybe a machine shutting down or something like that, or you just want to have backups of your scoreboard for whatever reason, you can turn that on, and every scoring interval, it'll make a backup of the score file for you. Stored in a folder. It's timestamped and all fancy. And then we have IP display toggling. This was a feature that was requested from a DEF CON group in Atlanta member. I went up there and I was hanging out, and they really liked the scoreboard, and it's actually based on Net King of the Hill, which is the scoreboard they use up there. I forked that project and it made it better. So they wanted a way to toggle the IP display to make you hunt on the network for those machines. I don't like using that personally because I want you guys to know what the scope is and stay in scope, but in the scenarios where you don't, it's kind of cool. You don't know what box is what on the scoreboard, you got to go find it. Everyone you own, you'll know once you own it. So that's a neat little feature that's on there. So those are all the updates to Propane. So let's talk about PropaneNet. What's PropaneNet? This is PropaneNet. Alright, so what you're actually looking at is not only just a mess of wires at my house, but it's a nice, awesome, like 8-core rack server with 120 something gigs of RAM, Wi-Fi Pineapple with an alpha antenna, and that Rock 64 is our VPN. So what's happening here is everybody will be able to VPN into a network where there are tons of vulnerable machines on the network and a consistent game of Propane that's always running. And the Wi-Fi Pineapple is going to facilitate you guys being able to connect. So you can't just give everybody a VPN cert because they're going to keep on track of all that. But when we're together and we're playing Propane, I can set up a router like we normally do. Only this actually gives you internet access and routes you into this network so you can play like normal. And this allows us to not run machines off of my laptop. We can run as many machines as we want and just have fun. Set up cool crazy networks, do subnetting and tunneling and pivoting and all kinds of cool stuff. It'll be simple at first like it normally is, but eventually I'll build it out more. So this is an activity that we are going to do.
That machine must have been a blast to put together.
It was a lot of fun. So this is it's a home server. It runs some cool VMs, VPN over a gigabit network. Sounds really fast. It works. It's good enough when I've been here. But it's not going to be as fast as it sounds. I'll go ahead and let you down easy there. That's mostly just because of the outbound connection here more than it is the actual network itself. And then, of course, like I said, the Wi-Fi Pineapple will give everybody VPN access. The way that works, if you've ever heard of the Wi-Fi Pineapple, usually you hear it in a nefarious context. We're actually using it as a router because at the end of the day, it's just an OpenWRT router. And it allows you to stick on another antenna so it can connect to CSU's Wi-Fi to get internet and route us out. And then everybody just connects to it and just routes through the VPN, and now you're on the Propane network. It's just magic and works real great. We're going to run this at every meeting, but this is especially important during those fun meetings that we're talking about. If we do those, you'll be able to come in, sit down, you want to play Propane today, have fun, get to practice. That's what you can do during those meetings. It's just to hang out, play games, do CTFs and stuff like that. So that's what the super special announcement is all about, is to really help push that meeting where we can just hang out and do stuff like this. But of course we'll run this at every meeting like we normally do, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So when's it going to happen? Hopefully at the next meeting. I did finish up Propane version 1.1. We're going to have to merge that in. Once it's merged in, it's cool. What's really neat about this is I've got a few select people in my friend group who are really testing all this kind of stuff out and using it, and they have their own VPN certs. They'll be able to come in and play whenever they want. So if they are taking over boxes that you own, you'll be able to see that on the live scoreboard at propane.projection.org whenever you want. So you'll instantly know when somebody takes over your box, and come to the next meeting and be like, I want my box back. It'll probably be white by then anyway, but it's just a nice little thing to have, which is pretty cool. Then of course I got to test it a little bit more, make sure you're not going to break anything, make sure everything's sectioned off, make sure you're not going to hurt anything from CSU, and all that kind of stuff. Otherwise we're not going to launch it. It shouldn't affect anything here at all. I'm more concerned about my home network. Everything's firewalled off DMZ. I've got all that set up to the T, but always test. You don't test. If you don't test, you don't know.
Exactly.
So then, of course, I've got to establish rules and stuff. You can't go outside of scope, and how to do machine resets if something goes down, stuff like that. I've got to talk about that with everybody before we get that moving.
Something occurred to me with the King of the Hill thing. What happens if somebody just turns off the network adapter for the machine?
That they won't be able, well, they can from the hardware side of things, but you won't score points.
Okay, so shutting down the network would mean that you're not in possession of it?
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, so you own the box, but you're not getting scores, so it really hurts you. Once
I
you've
got you.
rooted the machine, you can do anything you want with the box. At some point, I'll play sysadmin and go reflash it.
Right.
But once you're on it, anything's valid. Like, you got to think about what's
I
going to
was-
hurt you for scoring.
Well, that's what I was asking, is that a viable strategy?
Yeah, it's not going to help you, but yeah, you can absolutely do it. There's nothing wrong with it. All right, so that's kind of it.
If you were going for a slash and burn approach, to kill all the boxes but one and then just hold that one.
Y'all can go home now. We're done. If you have any questions, of course, anything about CCDC or the volunteering for the tech day, go see Bex. If you have questions about Discord, come see Tyler. If you want to pay dues, go see Hillary. Anything else, you can come see me.
Yeah, if you have access to our Discord.